Hi, and welcome to the Shotokan Chronicles. In today's video, we're going to continue on with Nakayama's Legacy, and this time we're going to watch Bassai Dai. Now this isn't a fairly long kata video, so I'll try to give some of my advice throughout the video, but I also have a video that I did that I perform Bassai Dai, and I show some of the changes and some of the adaptations that we have made in the International Karate Daigaku that are based mainly from Best Karate. Now, one of the things that I will attempt to do is put the images below when I discuss the feet issues. So what I mean by that is in Best Karate, at the bottom of the pages there's little animations, little drawings of feet position and how they're supposed to move. So I will attempt to place those images in the video. Bassai Dai is one of the more important katas. This is the one that you will be working on for several years as you prepare for Shodan. Now, without any further ado, Bassai Dai. I really like this scene where they show the cherry blossoms. Now you'll notice when he does the U-punch that it's not like this. It's centered. The elbow is close to the forehead. That's very crucial. A lot of people do it out here like this, and that's not correct. Body should be better aligned.
This kata is called Bassai, or conquering a fortress, because it requires the spirit and strength necessary to break into an enemy stronghold. It must be performed full of vitality, but if it does not also have imposing dignity, its special characteristics will be lost.
Hip rotation is key in this kata. You have to be able to perform hip rotation correctly to go Bassai Dai, or you'll never be able to get the correct speed and power. That section is done a little bit differently in the International Karate Daigaku. We do our step into the punch, but we don't shuffle step. We just step forward like a Yoriashi sort of. Hey! And the last movement, and I will try to put the foot image below, you don't bring the foot up beside the other one. It is supposed to come up. Your back foot is here, parallel, and your back stance, this foot's coming up beside it on the same line in the front, if there was a line drawn.
Changing the angle, let's observe the kata from the side.
Now, I'm not trying to say that this video is incorrect. It's just when you investigate the kata further and look at how the foot movements are supposed to be performed according to Master Nakayama's writings, then you see the difference between placement of the foot. Now here in these movements, when you're doing the U-punch, if you have your heels on the same line, it's going to give you better stability in your techniques, and it's going to help to get your hip around a little bit better so that you can get that proper technique with your U-punch.
Now, let's watch it from behind.
The first step, when you're stepping forward doing your first technique, there's a really interesting way that you can use your arms that's going to help the technique work better. You want, when you pull off to the side from this position, when you're pulling back, you want to have your foot moving at the same time you're pulling your hands back. That's going to help you generate more force, as well as, depending on the situation, be able to apply force to maybe take them off balance if a person has grabbed you, or to get in and be strong with your block. And as you notice there, when he's doing the U-punch, his hands are in line. They're not staggered. And they're in line this way as well. They're not staggered. They should be one over top of the other. And he has the perfect form with his punch next to his head.
Next, let's listen to Nakayama Sensei's explanation of the main points of this kata. Bassai requires strong vitality and vigorous techniques performed with imposing dignity. One of the karate blocks is called Morote-uke, or block with both hands, putting out your power into both hands. Two blocks are used, according to the attack used by the opponents. One is a block putting your fist to the opposite elbow, and the other is a block putting your palm against your opposite wrist. The opponent's attack determines which block should be used. For example, a block with your fist on the side of your elbow is very effective against a stronger opponent's attack. While blocking the opponent with your palm put against your opposite wrist, you can move quickly.
If you block Morote-uke with your hand here, there's no force.
You can see a number of quick block changes in this kata. After blocking, if your posture is disadvantageous, you must quickly change the block to your advantage.
You can also think of those as a block, grab, and a strike.
A very rare self-defense technique called Yamazuki is included in this kata. This is a counterattack useful when you are being grabbed by the hair or head. Instead of trying to pull away, step in boldly and counterattack. This is Yamazuki.
これが山突きです。この山突きは女性の護身術に非常に効果的な威力を発揮いたします。
Don't confuse wide U-punch with small U-punch. It's very important.
はい。この動きも非常に特徴のある動きです。これは同じ位置で方向を転換しながら技をかけるという場合にこういうことがよく行われます。つまり
The movement you just watched is often used for executing a new attack towards a different direction from the same spot. Bring your leg just below your body, use the leg as a pivot, and attack the opponent. Let's watch it once again.
That's crucial to use your leg that way. Always bring that leg under your body and use it as a pivot as opposed to bringing your feet together to move. Especially if you're moving into another stance like that. You see that in Heian Niran, in Bassai Dai, and other katas as well. Now here, we don't lean down and bend our knees. You're just coming back into a stance. You're still scooping. Your hand is still coming down, catching inside edge of the wrist, and then turning it up and blocking. But we're not dropping down. We don't bend our knees and drop because you're exposing your face at the crucial level for a front kick. And if a front kick is delivered at that point, when you're scooping, you're going to be exposed and your hands are not going to be able to protect yourself. So we do this technique, and if you look at my video, we do it in a way so we're still in a regular level stance, but we still scoop and come up. Sorry about the dog. Now it's really crucial when you do Bassai Dai to have the proper speed. A lot of people perform it slow and think this is a power kata. However, Bassai Dai is not a power kata. It is a speed kata. You don't want to go too fast, but you don't want to go so slow and perform the techniques very, very stiffly. This kata is about having that right power and right speed with that nice body connection.
Let's watch it again from behind.
One of the points that I see a lot of students doing is in the last shuto. So you go up, you do your last shuto, and they drop their hand way down to their waist and then bring it up and hook. It's coming off your chest right under the wrist so that you can hook their arm or grab the gi sleeve at the shoulder, or the shirt or whatever at the shoulder. So then when you do your twist, you're locking that shoulder out. You can actually make their shoulder twist out, and then you can deliver a sweep with the leg, kick their knee, kick them in the stomach. If you use this technique properly and don't drop it, once you drop it, you're actually putting torque on your own body. Just come off, hook, and then you can perform the technique correctly. Another thing that's key with shuto is don't let your hands turn here. Shuto should come out and then turn here. And you're not going to turn your hand flat. You shouldn't be looking at the back of your hand on an angle. And another thing that's always been a pet peeve of mine, people that perform shuto like this. Shuto is not blocking here. You're using from the elbow to the fingertips. Use your entire forearm. Think of blocking here. If you're doing like this is a different block. This is different than just shuto. This is tate shuto-uke. This is shuto-uke. So it's a different position. This is using the edge of your wrist here. It's a different block. Shuto is like that. Now, the reason behind bringing the foot up, I believe, more parallel than what they're doing here, is it allows you to use this hand to cover and do your shuto in the last technique. So you're blocking, and then this is a strike as opposed to block. And as I mentioned, this is a long video. They go through the kata several times, and that's probably pretty good, where this is an important kata for your continuation in the system. Bassai Dai is so important that we have brown belts perform this in every single test for their brown belt, and we also suggest it as your black belt test. Now, in the International Karate Daigaku, you can choose from a list of katas for your Shodan test. But I always tell my students when they're preparing for Shodan to focus more on Bassai and use this kata as their choice for their black belt test. They know it, they should be performing it really well by this point because they've done it for so long.
Let's observe it movement by movement with Nakayama Sensei's explanation.
Yo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Jump 1.5 steps forward. Jump as quickly as possible.
Making that 1.5 step is crucial. If you don't, you're going to have to make up somewhere else in the kata to get back to your point. Because remember, in Shotokan, you need to get back to your point.
This Chudan Uchi-uke, or middle-level block from inside outward, is done by making a scooping block with the thumb side wrist of your right fist from the inside of your opponent's right side lower level, while bringing your right leg near your left leg.
And you notice there, he didn't drop his face, he just came in and scooped. And that's how we perform it in the IKD. And many other groups bring their legs together and scoop down, exposing their face. That's really not a smart idea. If you want to use it as an application or self-defense, you're gonna get hit in the face.
6, 5, 6, 7.
Left vertical sword hand should slowly describe an arc to the front from the side. In movement 11, while rotating your hip to the left, rotate the right forearm towards the inside in a big circle with the elbow as the pivot, and block from the inside outward, extending the forearm vertically.
You notice on his first block, he used both hands. On the second, he didn't. If you use both hands on those blocks, to your punch, bring your hand out just a bit, block, to your punch, bring your hand out just a bit and block, you're going to have a better reaction with your hip and with the blocking technique. This is something that was taught to me by Master Okazaki. And as well as that's been emphasized by Master Wanatai, Master Pike, and several other senseis within the International Karate Daigaku and the ISKF.
Keeping both feet in place, rotate your hips to the left using your right leg as a pivot. Describing a semicircle, extend your right hand to the front from under the left elbow. Hold your knee high under both of your arms. Raise your knee as high as possible and pull strongly with both hands to the right side of your chest simultaneously with your kick.
As well there, when you're doing this technique, the feet position in Best Karate says do not move your feet. Just rotate them. You're rotating on the ball of your foot. The front foot is coming heel out. The back foot is coming heel in.
Open your fists a little above your head to the left and right strongly, as if you were tearing something apart. Describe a small arc to the left and right with both fists, and make a scissors strike.
Look it up.
Go.
Master Funakoshi's throw, that part of Bassai Dai is exactly the same.
8, 9, 11.
In movement 26, After holding your right knee high in your arms, jump forward. From above your head, strike downward with your fist in a large arc. Cross both hands with your right hand on top in front of your chest. Then pull both of them in. Turn the left hand to the left as you move your face. Turning back, raise your right knee high up under your arms. Perform a crescent kick with your right foot and strike the sole against your left hand.
When you're performing the spear hand down and then coming up, the hand is supposed to be palm up, not like you're shaking somebody's hand. I see that mistake made so often. And here, it's hooking. It's a hook block. Don't just come up, backhand, hook.
Nit, han, shi, go, ro, sech, hat, ku.
Twist your upper body, bringing your left and right fists into line. In punching to the lower level, bend your elbow deeply and press it with your waist. It is also necessary to put the punching side shoulder forward a little and to lean your upper body backward. In movement 38, while turning back, open both legs widely and line them up. Using the right leg as a pivot, rotate your hips strongly to the left, keeping your left shoulder well to the rear and right shoulder forward. Swing your fist in an arc from the left shoulder forwards, then twist the forearm with the elbow as a pivot and perform a scooping block at the lower level just in the front.
Now that technique is down. So it should be, the fist should finish just below the belt. You don't want it up here. It should be down.
10、1、2、3。
Keeping the upper body as it is, bring your left foot to under the center of your body. Next, with the left leg as a pivot, slowly but strongly turn your right hand without moving your blocking form. Next, move into a sword hand block with your head only diagonally to the left.
Bassai is one of my favorite katas. It's something that is a go-to if I'm practicing or just want to run through a kata to get my heart rate up. This is a great one to do that.
Let's watch it once again from the very
And again,
beginning.
I'm sorry that this video is so long if you're having problems with it being so long. It's just such an important kata that I believe that the Japan Karate Association felt that they needed to perform it over and over and over so that you could see all of the sequences and all the important points. And to me, 30 minutes or so for this video, it's well worth it. Now there's so many different things that you can do for the bunkai for this. I've adapted some throwing techniques, arm breaking techniques, as well as we came up with some really interesting movements throughout the kata, especially for these. We've also adapted a few other things that would be kind of interesting, including udewa, which is from Funakoshi's 9 throws. Bassai Dai is so important to Shotokan that you need to make sure that you're emphasizing the proper speed, power, body connection, body dynamics in this kata. The first time you are practicing it and perform it for your test, it needs to be okay. You need to show that you know the moves. The second time that you practice it perform it for a test, you need to show that you've improved upon the kata. And then if you continue and you use it for your black belt test, you need to show that you completely understand to a level of, not perfection, because that's not possible, but to a level that you have gotten most of the kata, you understand it, and you have adapted and been able to make it your own. And remember, as I mentioned back in the beginning of the video, there's a version of this that I've performed myself and given a lot more detail on some of the things that we do in the IKD, and in other areas as well, some of the changes that have been made and some of the adaptations that have been made by researching best karate a little further. And I'll put a link to my video in the description below. So many important details in this kata. I hope that you enjoy the video. I know it's very long, but it's done that way, as I said, on purpose. Bassai Dai, which means to storm or to penetrate the fortress, is crucial. The name of the kata, some people say Bassai, comes from the Okinawan Shuri Castle and a training detail that was for the soldiers or the bodyguard of the Okinawan kings to defend the castle, to protect anyone inside. You could think of it more as getting into that first movement is to break through the defenses of your opponent. Whether it's a grab and you're escaping, or you're defending against a block, or using it as a strike right off the bat. There you have Bassai Dai, as performed by Master Osaka. He is one of my Shotokan idols. Master Osaka and Master Tanaka are two of my favorites to watch perform, as well as obviously Master Nakayama, Master Okazaki, etc. There's a few that I've had the opportunity to train with. Unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity to train with Master Osaka. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. And don't forget to check out the link in the description below to the Shotokan Chronicles merchandise. You can get hats, shirts, sweaters, etc. We've also partnered with the Great North Apparel. Go to thegreatnorth.net and use the coupon code Shotokan at checkout to receive 30% off of your purchase. Train hard. See you next time on the Shotokan Chronicles.